Is sex opposed to spirituality? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Matters That Matter. I'm Simran and I'm in a conversation with my mentor, Susie Singh. Susie, as we know, a lot of religious orders and cultures talk about how sex is a bad thing, it's morally wrong, and how it can set one off their spiritual path. So, today I want to ask you, is sex opposed to spirituality, or is it something that is an innate part, or rather an essential part of our being?
I think this question has caused a lot of confusion through the ages. And so, for our contemporary understanding, it's important to set apart uh, brahmacharya and abstinence as a practice is useful or is recommended for those people who have submitted themselves to a spiritual order or a discipline. So, if you're a monk and you have adopted monkhood, if you have chosen to become a nun, or if you have chosen to dedicate your life only to the search of the divine, and it is a sacred path where you have taken Naam or you have been formally inducted into the system, then abstinence is recommended. Because we have to understand that in the olden times, the yogis would do a lot of yogic practices under the training of expert masters who would teach them how to transmute the sexual energy into the higher movement and into the Kundalini practice, into the search for enlightenment. However, those people who have chosen the path of Grihastha or Raj Yoga, who are in everyday life, who have chosen to be married and have partners, for them it is extremely normal to engage in healthy sexuality. Now, I'm going to underline the word healthy over here. And what do I mean by healthy sexuality? Firstly, anything in extreme can be harmful. So, if you are in the path of Grihastha and you are overindulging or indulging in multiple relationships where you are supposed to be in is exclusive relationship, and you are following polygamy when your commitment is to monogamy, then that is harmful because that would amount to cheating yourself to start with. Because if you've given a commitment to yourself that I'm going to remain exclusive to this partner, then unless there is a different understanding with the partner, then that would be wrong or harmful. There is also unhealthy sexuality where sexuality, a lot of what I will call experimental sexuality, which is just wanting to explore every orifice in the body to see how it works. If it's causing pleasure to one person but pain to another, if it is causing attraction for one person and repulsion for another, that is not recommended. It's unhealthy, because both these two opposites, either the engagement of that intimacy must bring both joy, both a sense of fulfillment. The idea is for a sense of union or a sense of together bliss. The idea is not for one person to experience a high at the cost of another. And that is unhealthy sexuality. So that is to be avoided. But anything that is mutually joyful is perfectly fine. Not wanting to be in a sexual relationship, if you are in Grihastha, could stem from many problems. And I use the word problems because I feel in a lot of the clinical work that I've done, I have found that women tend to avoid intimacy because they either have negative beliefs about how it is bad for them, harmful for them, or they have shame related to their bodies, or they have been slut shamed in their lives or by their elders, or they have been told that a woman does not deserve to have sexual desires. So there may be a whole host of negative or limiting beliefs associated with her sexuality that might be creating a problem. And it's amazing how a woman's body will simply lock up because of these beliefs. In other cases, there may have been some trauma to her intimacy, which may have been caused in her life, which causes her to shut down. It's a sacred passage in a woman. We have to understand that. And a sacred passage only opens with sanctity, with love, with deep trust. If there is a broken trust in a relationship, again, you'll find that that passage will get locked. So we have to understand that it always indicates if the woman is unable to have any intimacy or unable to reciprocate, it is arising from some emotional, psychological scar that needs attending to. That's very important. And it also indicates that trust and love is missing in that relationship. So a renewal of those things can actually reopen the sacred passages. Like all other needs, sexuality is also a natural need.
Mm-hmm.
And with time, it naturally falls off.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman, for example, when she starts approaching menopause and she may start losing an interest in sexuality. It may be also for a man that the frequency or his desire for sexuality may reduce incredibly. And if they are able to channelize their togetherness into many other creative approaches or many other creative interests, they might their sense of being together in that marriage could be beautifully expressed in ways other than just the physical or the sexual act. I think it's very important also for people who are not yet in committed relationships to understand that it takes a lot of discretion to select who you will allow as a sexual partner, because a lot of transference of mental, emotional, psychological proximities and ideas are exchanged during the sexual act.
Right.
So it may be a good idea for you to be very careful and mindful about who you are willing to be with in this intimate way, and see if they resonate with you at a deep level before you jump into bed with them.
So, if these things are kept in mind, the sexual act or sexuality is something that is not opposed to spirituality or spiritual path. One can simultaneously be on both.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much, Susie, for answering this. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.